And now, the nominees for Best Performance in Fake Outrage. Laura Ingraham for Spitting in the Face.
Not only is AOC attempting to destroy a Hispanic success story, she's spitting in the face of someone who has likely helped her and her constituents get fed.
Matt Gaetz for Goya Foods Matter.
The reason our national anthem matters, our statues matter, our history matters, our businesses like Goya Foods matter is because they create a sense of national identity.
Rachel Campos Duffy for Erase Our Voices.
These are the people who are encouraging the tearing down of statues that are teaching our children to hate America. They want to erase our voices.
Matt Schlapp for This Is Fascism.
This is fascism. This is fascism of the left. We better face it now. If we wait till later, we might not have a country anymore.
Janine Pirro for The Right Doesn't Do This.
Their hate is so dug in. I mean, are you comfortable with this? The right doesn't do this to Obama. And trust me, a lot of people on the right didn't like Obama.
And Charles Payne for Some Adobo Tonight.
My wife is a Puerto Rican from the Bronx, and we got a whole cabinet full of Goya, and we're going to have some adobo tonight.
And the outragey goes to...
Florida got it right, Texas got it right, and guess what? Now it's time for all the states to follow their lead.
Governor DeSantis now looks like a genius.
Ron DeSantis of Florida, the governor, doing a fantastic job in Florida.
Governor, those dire predictions have not come true.
They look to Florida and they look at Texas that have reopened, and it hasn't led to a massive second wave.
In a very real sense, Florida is leading the way.
It's been 2 months, and Florida has figured out how to manage this pretty effectively.
Governor DeSantis, who's doing a phenomenal job. The state of Florida, which happens to be my great home state.
I can't get to Florida or Texas fast enough, and I think there's plenty of people thinking the exact same way.
How much longer are you going to keep me out of your state? I would like to go visit. When am I allowed back in?
We're glad you're opening up. We're ready to have some sunshine and get out of the house.
It's great to be in Florida, and I'm going to be back here in a week.
And I've always wanted to move to Texas. Now I think I have to.
Governor of Texas, Greg Abbott, he knows what he's doing. He's a great governor.
Governor Greg Abbott, we can learn a lot from you and a lot from Governor DeSantis, but we can also learn a lot from Governor Cuomo and Governor Murphy, what not to do, because they did the opposite of what you guys did.
Texas, Florida gave us clues. Take the success clues.
The successes of Florida, Texas, the failures of New York, New Jersey.
We got to get the whole country open like Tennessee and Texas and Florida. He's got it in great shape. Texas, Florida's doing very well.
How did you do it? Because we need to learn as we reopen. Great job down there.
Keep up the great work.
You did a great job. You saved a lot of lives, and there's a lot to learn from your success.
If people get away with breaking the law, it incentivizes others to do the same. Then you are engaging in rampant lawlessness, chaos, and tyranny. Not allowed in a democracy which upholds the rules of law.
Supporting these protesters that are breaking the law. These people should be arrested. They act like animals in the street.
I don't see many lawful demonstrations. Stopping regular traffic on sidewalks in front of buildings, that is not lawful demonstrations, and they should enforce it.
These thugs, they all should be locked up, thrown in jail for any type of crime. I don't care how little it is. Put them in jail. Forget politically correct garbage that everybody talks about.
President Trump upsets today's illiberal elites when he tweets things like law and order. Law and order is what all of our citizens deserve.
If people broke the law, they have to be held accountable, because if we just allow that to happen, then we invite that type of crime in the future. That's why the rule of law matters.
I think it's very obvious that the two Clintons are completely pathological, and in some ways it's a real pity that the law keeps giving them a pass, allowing them to stay one step ahead of the posse, because it sends them the message that they are literally above the law.
the crimes that were committed before, during, and after Benghazi are the things that really she ought to be held to account for. When it was happening, nothing was done about it, and afterwards they had to lie to cover up their tracks.
There's protesters shoulder to shoulder, inches away from cops.
You've had 6 weeks! Screaming the most disgusting things. An inch away from their face.
Police officers who are being taunted. They're really showing great discipline in the face of this danger.
One thing I would hope that mothers and fathers need to raise children who respect authority.
Are you stupid? You need people off the streets.
The minute someone steps in the street, blocks traffic, and breaks the law, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to go to jail.
Demonstrators blocked traffic on streets around the Capitol.
They must be stopped.
A packed restaurant in Colorado defied state orders and opened on Mother's Day.
See what I mean? They don't care. He doesn't have command of the subject matter.
And then I see the disinfectant where it knocks it out in a minute.
He can't string a coherent sentence together.
More than ever before, we've held our rate, the numbers, everything we've done.
Stumbles all over his sentences, starts rattling off.
They can do as they want, they can do what they have to do. They know what they have to do.
We've already seen how his mental faculties are declining.
But you know, they had a debate it was really a rough time in our country.
He's just not articulate enough to be the leader of the free world.
We want to win the war with as few, if you look at it, just deaths as possible.
Day after day, it's embarrassing to watch him.
We have, I call it the super duper missile.
He lies with ease.
Anybody that wants a test can get a test.
Some of his appearances lately have been just downright disturbing.
I happen to be taking it.
Hydroxychloroquine?
I'm taking it. Hydroxychloroquine.
This type of agitated behavior is part of an increasing, disturbing pattern.
Why don't you act in a little more positive? It's always trying to get you.
My question to you
is... Get you. You know you're a fake. Just a loudmouth. Maybe that's a question you should ask China.
I feel bad for him. He's where a lot of us will be in late middle age, and it's set.
A what? Oh, fuck. Uh-oh.
You know, he's old, he's creepy.
The professionals did the models. I was never involved in a model. But at least this kind of a model.
Just roll the tape and the creepy things that he's doing to people on camera.
We've seen how creepy he is with women.
I'll go backstage before a show.
Yes.
And everyone's getting dressed and ready. And I'm allowed to go in because I'm the owner of the pageant and therefore I'm inspecting it. Is everyone okay? You know, they're standing there with no clothes. Is everybody okay? And you see these incredible looking women.
She even noted his handsy history of touching people.
I've said that if Ivanka weren't my daughter, perhaps I'd be dating her.
He's very creepy. Can't make this up.
Sacrifice. It's the dark side of ancient religion.
Many are willing to take the risk of contracting the virus, and they would risk this in order to preserve their way of life.
In the face of disaster, no sacrifice is too great if it means appeasing the bloodthirsty gods.
I tell you, schools are a very appetizing opportunity. The opening of schools may only cost us 2 to 3% in terms of total mortality, and that's any life is a life lost, but might be a trade-off some folks would consider.
We got to reopen, and when we do, the coronavirus is going to spread faster, and we got to be ready for it.
Yep. And shedding blood had a purpose: to fend off disaster by offering the gods a human life.
Now, every life matters, and you don't want to minimize any of them, but when the mortality rate is that low, what is the balance?
We don't shut down the economy to save every single life that's threatened by a widespread disease. We just don't.
This disease could take your life, but that's not the scariest thing to you. There's something that would be worse than dying.
As a senior citizen, are you willing to take a chance on your survival in exchange for keeping the America that all America loves for your children and grandchildren? And if that's the exchange, I'm all in.
There are different reasons for ritual murder, but the most compelling reason for human sacrifice may have been to fend off a looming disaster.
It's getting to a point now where it's almost time that we're willing to absorb the risk and get back to work.
I'd rather die than kill the country, because it's not the economy that's dying, it's the country.
I know plenty of people working at restaurants right here in the city that are dying to come back to work. And that's not a joke. I mean, they literally want to come back to work.